avoid me, huh?
FBI, you might want to stay out of this, all right, sir? Excuse me, sir. Ma'am, please, back off. All right, I need 8 double tall.
So you have to wonder, is the choice drink here in Cloud City Spotchka or Coke 45? Do you really have to wonder? Now look, you can spill all the coffee you want, but don't you dare spill a drop of that Coke 45, baby. And hey, is Aries going to be telling you about all these brand new Hot Toys Star Wars OT figures coming in 2022? I would say, I don't know. Chewbacca, calm down. Tell Leia I'll be there in a second. That's right. It is the Hot Toys Wizard morphed into Lando Calrissian, aka Brother Cousins the Space Pimp. And remember, you're watching 6 Scale Cantina.
I'm sorry there, but with that outfit, I'm seeing more Moff Gideon, less Lando Calrissian there.
Yeah. Listen, I'm seeing Colt 45, and I'm seeing some clear Jawa juice and some wizard juice. The Hot Toys wizard just going ahead and impersonating the Space Pimp brother cousins. And let me ask you all something. Are you ready? What you gonna do when Dark Jedi Aries and the Hot Toys Wizard goes 6 scale raw on you? What you gonna do? Listen there, second brother. It's good to have you in here. It is Monday. It is 6 scale raw. It's always fun to kick it off. How's your week, baby?
It's been going good so far. Just had a tough, Mother's Day. Mother's Day is usually real rough for me. It's been 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has passed, so that time of year is kind of rough. But just keep moving and keep pushing. I'm officially done with school, and got another degree down in the back.
Yeah,
go back and do some more.
Cheers to you, baby.
Man, let me tell you, I didn't think I was gonna make it. It was just like down to wow. It was like you don't want to pull my hair out. And then I'm like still in the mode of like, damn, it's an assignment, it's a deadline, it's this. I'm still in that mode, and I'm like, okay, I could just sit back and relax.
Well, listen, if you keep pulling your hair out, the Hot Toys Wizard's uncle's brother's cousin, I have some of his wigs, and I can go ahead and put one in UPS for you and send it out.
Well, you know what?
You pull out enough hair and you get this style.
Lane, I'll definitely send one to you, baby. I'll send it to DHL.
Well, if it's DHL, as long as you're not Aries 6, Toys Blunderland, it should get to me by the middle of the summer.
Well, my collection tour is like a wonderland. Listen, Lane, let's go right to you. We're going to mix it up. We just said, second brother, welcome in here. Lane, good to have Lane Kramer back in the house. What's going on, baby?
The Midnight Collector is glad to be here as always. Always have a good time with you guys. I've got a Purge Trooper that's still sitting in his box. I've got a Mando Luke that is waiting for the Aries Cantina Wizard to get his.
Got my shipping notice. Got finally my Sideshow Collectibles shipping notice. Slipping. I got figures in the boxes, Lane. I still got to open up the DX freaking 21 Ahsoka, the deluxe one. I got to open up Mando, Chrome Mando with all the extra Boba Fett. I don't know what I'm going to do with that Boba Fett extra helmet, but we'll figure it out. I got some stuff to open, Lane.
It sounds like you got some videos to make, bro.
I've got
some unboxing videos that you got to make. But as always, chat guys, hey, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Hit the like button as always, because we got some topics. And as I mentioned before, it seems like we've got the Superstar Destroyer wait list. with Darth Howie on it, hovering his shadow over us, that we're definitely going to have some discussion on probably this evening. And I just got, and speaking of not like an always sideshow, my least favorite day that sideshow manages to give me is the day that they do my whatever the current payment they're going to have to do. So they just charge me for my Iron Man.
Well, Lane, we know what your favorite food is, though. That's for sure. Let's go ahead and fill you up at the table you're at, baby.
You're delicious. Ciao, boys.
I feel as big as Pizza Hut sometimes.
Well, Lane, you're definitely as delicious as Pizza the Hut. Good to have you in here. And Costa, let's go to you. Costa, first time in the Pop Culture Living Room, 6-scale Cantina. I am pumped. We're all pumped. What's up, baby?
What is up? Thank you for having me, Aries. I'm pretty excited. Now I'm on the other end of the camera here with the show. I'm honored.
Yes. I am honored to have you on.
I will say I did get just ordered Mantis. I was making decisions because I have almost all of the original Guardians. So I'm like, I don't want to. Maybe I don't need to start with the new, because with the new ones you get all those uniforms. You got to have all of them if you're gonna get like with the uniforms, and they won't go with any of the old ones. So I had to. I did. I didn't get the last one though. So
how soon did you get the Mantis?
Oh. What was that? Go ahead.
How soon did you get the Mantis? Because it was funny. Because while I was backstage, I was on the Sideshow site, and I saw
just like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Wait, did she go? Did she go waitlist too?
She's blue.
No.
She's
almost done.
She's blue screening.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Because I looked at her this morning, and she was fine.
Yeah. I have Gamora and Nebula out, so I need, gotta have all the girls.
Here, show that again there, Costa. I'm gonna blow you up.
Don't pay attention to the display because everything is a work in progress in this room.
Yeah, same with my room, baby. Same with my room. No, I totally get it. But Costa, good to have you in here. We're going to talk about Mantis and some of this stuff here today. And the OG fan, when Star Wars was just Star Wars, is like, share, subscribe to 6-scale Cantina. Let's go ahead and fill up this guy. I think he likes Boba Fett, OG fan. Maybe just a wee bit, Mr. Bob.
I'm Boba Fett. I'm here to see the mayor.
Boba Fett. Do you have an appointment?
Mr. Bob, you don't need an appointment. You're here, baby. Welcome into Cantina 6-scale Raw.
How you doing? I'm doing good. Yeah. Monday night, beginning of the week, and had a rough work day today, so kind of cruise into the rest of the night. So I'm happy to be here as always, Aries. Thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it, and looking forward to talking toys. So here we go.
Well, and we have to hope that this is not the Hot Toys Wizard as we started off this program interrupted Sandra Bullock, and she was trying to get some coffee. She wanted 8 double tall and some other stuff, but the brother cousins, the Space Pimp, Hot Toys Wizard came on, and it looks like that either the Wizard or the Space Pimp or brother cousin is going to be joining soon. That's really, really good. Listen, we got a lot to talk about. We were talking about backstage Cobb Vanth. I've gotten message after message after message after message. I'm hearing that the Mantis blue screened. So let's just go ahead and dive into all of this, guys. Right now.
All right. But this is the last time.
All right, and welcome everybody to 6 Scale Raw here on May 15th. What an exciting time it is to just be collecting 6 scale figures, Hot Toys figures, to be a Marvel fan, to be a Star Wars fan, to be a fan of just, I don't know, a lot of cool stuff. Good to have Ryan, Mr. Mom's Collectibles, in here. Lane, the Midnight Collector, second brother in the house, channel forthcoming, and of course, Costa, Pop Culture Living Room, and brother Cousins, and on his way, and really looking forward to him popping in, maybe Lael a little bit later as well. But Ryan, I'm going to kick it off with you, baby, because we were talking about this backstage, so maybe you could kind of tell the story a little bit again, because
as I said, I'm not trying to, trust me, I'm not trying. I don't even know if I believe it. It's just last night. What time was it? I'm trying to think of what time it was. I can check the timestamp on the messages because Nate was like, dude, I'm telling you. I was like, whatever. I was talking to Nate from Geeking Out last night, and he sends me the message. He sends, we're just all talking. He sends me a message, and he screenshot the Cobb Vanth thing. He goes, "Yo, Cobb Vanth, it's going down blue screen. It's one left. You can only add one to cart." And I'm telling you, Aries, how many times I talk about that Cobb Vanth figure that 300 that's killing me, man. That 300 was killing me. I don't know why that bothered me so much, that price, because it was just. I have to pose a question to the panel. Actually, what price is worse, 300 for Cobb Vanth or 280 for Rocket?
Oh wow. God, that's a hard one, dude.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
But see, you're like already like
300 for Vanth.
300 for Vanth. Oh man,
but I'm buying it anyway because I need to.
No. I ultimately bought it, but my whole point was that that 300 was killing me, man. So when Nate hit me up and was like, "Yo, listen, it's going down on Sideshow," I checked a couple backup sites, nobody had it. So I was like, "Oh man!" So I checked my rewards. I had rewards. So I was like, "I got to put something down on this figure to make. I can't go 300 retail. I just can't justify it." And so I dropped rewards on it, put it in the cart. I tried buying it. Once or twice. I kept getting error messages, and I finally pushed it through. And then Nate literally messaged me like 10 seconds later. He goes, "Bro, the thing went waitlisted." So he's accusing me of buying the last one. I was like, I don't know how you could really justify that. He's like swearing up and down on it. He's like, "Bro, I'm telling you, you got the last one." I was like, it's very possible because I know that can happen, but
that is
I didn't
possible.
even want to. Yeah, it's just. Yeah. But the thing is, though, to be fair, I thought it was Sideshow playing games because it's the weekend. It's going to come back. As of right now, it hasn't come back, but I do know one or two people have gotten waitlist conversions that jumped the waitlist that night. They've already converted today. So I think that there's going to be a fair amount of conversions, I still think, on it. I don't know if it's coming back, though. It might be done for good. But to be fair, this kind of goes back to areas that we talked about. How long has this thing been out for? A year?
It's yeah. I mean, when did this get announced last year, guys?
Roughly, though, it's been over 6 to 8 months, definitely. I mean, the fact is, and if you don't have your ish together to get this figure now, I mean, that was my fault that I waited that long. Like, I should have gotten them before, but I don't know why that 300 was bothering me so much. Like, it was bothering me, that 300. Like, I don't know. I don't usually just let figures slide, but this is like Star Wars. Marvel pricing, where that's why I was on the phone with like Nate this morning about it. I was like, "Yo, what irks you more, the 280 for Rocket?" Because that bothers me. That 280, that price bothers me. That 280 or that 300. I think we both agree that 300 was the worst price.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's like 8-9 months with this one. It wasn't too early last year, and I feel like that this was after all the drops with the Attack of the Clones wave 1. So not a year yet, but very, very interesting here. Make sure we got over 100 watching already. Make sure you smash that like button. And, let's go to you, Costa. It's good to have you in. And I thought as well, because I put out my market chart show as I usually do on either Saturday or Sundays. It was Sunday yesterday. It was Sunday late. And I was getting messages saying, "Hey, Aries, Cobb Vanth went waitlist." And I was like, okay, it happened on a Sunday. So half the time when it happens during the weekend, it'll pop back in. But this one already went on waitlist, I heard. I think it was 6 Scale Mafia. Shout out to my friend Anthony. It was like on for an hour or two. He said, "Hey, I didn't even see it." But it already was there. So I was kind of thinking, if it doesn't go back today, maybe this is for real with this one. And I think you have to calculate too, Costa, at least from my view, the fact that the one Cad Bane is gone, I started to think now this one was going to be, they're kind of like two peas in a pod. Cad Bane, the Cobb Vanth. I kind of figured that maybe there'd be a domino effect. But what do you think about this?
Yeah, I'm not surprised because I think, was it a couple months ago, I decided there were 4 figures that I had to pre-order, and I felt like it was getting close to them. Maybe it was a month ago. I'd have to look at my orders, but I felt like it was going to be close to them being waitlisted. It was Bespin Luke, Fennec Shand, Cad Bane, and Cobb Vanth. On Hot Toys site, Cobb Vanth dropped on September 26th.
Oh, wow. So it was late.
That's not that long ago.
No. For some reason, I think we're all
like
thinking the same
months,
thing.
Yeah, it is like 8 months. Yeah.
Right around that time frame. We're saying some of these are going to hit like 6 to 8 months.
So yeah, I made sure that I love Timothy Oliphant, Deadwood, Justified, and sometimes I collect not only genre but actor, and this guy is he's combined with the Star Wars and a favorite actor. So I like those 4. I just felt like it was getting close with all these wait lists happening. I know people were saying, "Oh, it's just a marketing ploy." Well, R2-D2's still out. The clones are still out. The pilot. Is that all of the Attack of the Clone stuff, so I'm not taking any chances, and I don't think I think this one will convert. I just don't think this is one of those where it could have been, initially, where sometimes on a Friday night when something goes waitlist or over the weekend and, there's nobody there to manually update quantity, and then Monday rolls around, and then next thing you know, they're full back in pre-order without any kind of blue screen. But obviously that didn't happen with Cobb here. And that's what I was worried about with Mantis too. So
because that's that we're just hearing Costa, right? That one's hitting blue screen right now during the show.
Yeah. I ordered it 15 minutes ago. So
wow.
Good.
Wow. Coffin asks here, going to Lane, could it be possibly that the head sculpt bumps up the price with Cobb Vanth? I think with if you look at Bo-Katan, she's $285. That comes with a head sculpt and a helmet and a lot of stuff. I don't know.
But he was announced after her later too.
Yeah. So here's what I think. Because I think if Cobb was announced today, he would be in the Darth Sidious range. I think at that point,
I think you're right. I think
we were
right
getting into that beginning of the the inflation. Oil prices were skyrocketing. The plastic, materials were just more expensive then. And if you look at most of the releases at that point, we were like, things are getting, expensive. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man with just the head sculpt non-deluxe is $300. So
yeah, you're right.
So that was all around the same time.
Mighty
so
Thor.
That's what I see. That's what I see. And now we've gone through that, and Hot Toys has been nice enough to realize that we should probably bring down the prices to where, it's more reasonable.
Especially for secondary characters.
Yeah,
yeah.
Man,
I was gonna say those are characters that I didn't care about, like Mighty Thor and stuff. Like those are ones I was passing on anyway. So I'm like, if we were gonna get price hikes, let it happen to those. I think the Spider-Mans are because they're Sony too. I think they're a little more money because they're Sony IP figures. So I personally think, I think you're right.
Okay.
I think if they're, that's my opinion. I don't know.
Sony does not make any money off of those. Disney owns all of the merchandising rights. That was one of the big things that they did years ago. Like Sony was
their new deal
having issues. What was that?
I think when they did the redeal for making like Far From Home
Yeah.
and stuff, or No Way Home, they renegotiated the merchandising rights, so they actually do.
Sony gets a lot of the merchandise. I think that's what it was. Sony cops the merchandising. Disney handles all the marketing, but Sony gets the back end stuff. I'm almost positive when they redid that.
I'm 100% positive that that's not the case.
Don't ever be 100%. Be 99.9.
I'm sorry. I'm 99.9% positive.
It used to be.
Listen.
Before they redid the deal.
Are you talking about the most recent redo?
Yeah, the recent redo. They're sharing some of the merchandising rights because Sony wanted some of that money.
Listen, I got to address the 100% thing because when you're 100%, that's when you get.
They call him the Wizard.
Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, that thing you end up like
Wizard.
100%. You end up like Voldemort did. If you're 100% on something like that, usually, because it's usually only like
Avada Kedavra.
2 lawyers. Yeah.
This is already such a fun show and such a stimulating conversation. Before we go on, I want to say hi to some of the people that are in here. We have got Connor, the Hot Toys Hotline, here in the chat. And good to have Connor in here. What a great channel. He's been on here a couple of times. Looking forward to getting Connor back here on 6 Scale Raw here soon. Make sure you all subscribe to him. And yeah, good to have so many that are in here. But let's actually go to you here, with this, because we're talking about surprising on this wait list. I'm kind of thinking that if Cad Bane's for real, this is already Boba Fett 6 Scale 1 has been waitlisted. Yeah. Cad Bane now happening. This figure kind of goes with those. But Lane, here's the thing too. Besides that, I got to get your thoughts here. I think that these guys are onto something about the price during inflation. And Costa said that because Hot Toys can't adjust the price now. Because if they set that precedent, like, oh, let's make it $285.
Yeah.
Or let's make it $290. Or because honestly, the freaking DX 27 Obi-Wan Kenobi, a DX lane, is less than Cobb Vanth. But if they adjusted that now, they would set a precedent and everyone would be expecting them to do that across the board.
Well, wasn't the Luke, which was similar time frame, the best been Luke, not the deluxe, but the regular edition, wasn't it the same price or right? Or it was less, wasn't it? I think, or roughly around the same price. That DX, because the 345, the best been Luke non-deluxe.
The non-deluxe is 285.
Yeah. Okay. So that Luke, which is still a DX, is not the deluxe one or whatever, but this guy isn't a deluxe figure either. I mean, even the Cad Bane was the quote deluxe version of it was $10 less. I mean, I think the pricing for this one priced a lot of people out from buying it, which I'm still kind of surprised it lasted as long as it did. I think that this may be a little bit of a drive for like Sideshow and Hot Toys to finally kind of get the Mando season 2 season stuff on waitlist and kind of off the pre-order page, so that with Mando season 3 stuff hasn't been announced yet, but they're going to be gearing up to probably start doing that in the next couple of months. We're going to start finally seeing some Mando figures. We may not see like 25 from season 3, but we're going to still see a good number of them. But I got to admit, I did get gripped a little bit because I wasn't really interested in getting Cobb Vanth. But when he started going, I was kind of like a little bit like, he wasn't in my thing, but I will occasionally just buy a figure, if it's like not one, if it's one or something I didn't really plan for. But I was in the same thing as Mr. Mom. Is a lot of his stuff was reused because it was the Boba Fett armor, but a lot of his costumes reused. I think the Oliphant's hell. I can't imagine Timothy Oliphant is that expensive. He is not he's not Robert Downey Jr.
But here's the thing,
but he might have charged a lot to actually get it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. It could be like Ryan, what you were suggesting. It could be like, it could be a bunch. It could, it cost it. It could have just been because of, they realized, hey, we better lower these prices. Or, I mean, it's just interesting that Natalie, the Natalie Portman, the Mace Windu, the Samuel L. Jackson, the Hayden Christensen.
The Inquisitors. I mean, you think about it. The Inquisitors.
They're so much less expensive.
Yeah,
The new
because
Marvel
they're-
figures coming out less expensive. This was hot.
What gets me more, what gets me just as upset probably about the figure is I'm not as upset because like I said I use some rewards, not everything on it. Is actually I probably won't even display him with the armor because I like the look of him without it, like with his hands on his hips, kind of like like the season what was it, season 2 version of him, or season whatever that version, like without the armor. I'm most likely probably going to display him like that because I like that kind of Western gunslinger look where he was the sheriff like that. So that kind of makes me even more begrudging that I got it because I spent that money and I'm not even using half the armor on it. Like, that side of me was like, I'm going to display him with everything because I paid for this. I'm putting him in there with everything. But I really don't like in my display. I don't like the fact that he's using the same armor as Boba, and I have that version of Boba in my display. So I have a way of
looking.
Yeah, and I love the head sculpt. I love the head sculpt. I hope the head sculpt gets a little bit better when it goes to production, but it's too unique. And I love the actor too; he's a great actor. So it's like Haas is saying, sometimes I get figures because of the actor, and that's too unique of a head sculpt in a collection to keep in the box. So like I'll display him with the head sculpt.
Well, you know what's interesting about this one too, and correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, but I believe that with the red outfit here, I think that this is what he wore in the Book of Boba Fett. So this is versatile. You could use this for Book of Boba Fett. You could use this for frickin' the Mando display there. I think it's and like for me personally, this is a must-have. This is like not one for me, a second brother, and everyone's different. Where it's like, hey, this is one where if something better comes out or something OT comes out, I'm going to go ahead and skip. For whatever reason, this character, second brother, rings true to me in the Mandoverse. Rings true to me with the Mandalorian. Now here's what I had to do, second brother. I actually went on the wait list last night. I got a text from a bunch of people telling me, hey, and I took a look and I'm like, oh, crap. And right before I went to bed, I went ahead and joined the wait list. I think it's going to convert because a lot of these are. But I don't want to miss out on it. But my stance on this, I can't put everything the way I collect. I like to have funds available if I want to buy something, for instance, second brother in the secondary market. If I want to be able to buy something that goes on sale. If I've got all my money tied up in the NRDs, I can't do it. But now with this, I went on the wait list because as soon as it becomes available, I'm going to go ahead and put it on because I don't want to miss out on him. I think that because I joined early, it'll probably convert. What do you think?
Yeah, with that, Cobb Vanth, everyone like chimed in on it with the cost. And when I first saw that cost, and that's when we start hearing rumors of the economy, right when that figure was announced. And then when I saw the $300 mark, and I was telling Jay, I said, Jay, if we got basic Hot Toys starting at $300, I'm tapping out. I can't do that. And it's a hard cost to justify. But as time went on, I'm along with like Mr. Mom, it's just like, damn, I can't really swallow that 300. I use like he did. I use points to try to justify that cost. But I really think when that happened, that was much of a teaser. You see how the community react, and they pretty much saw how the community react because the figure did sit for a little while. It did sit for a little while compared to the wait list that we're getting, compared to where we're getting now. But it's a very versatile figure, and I'm glad I pre-ordered it when I did because I think the warning bells was there, just like you said, with Cad Bane and how the trends of things waitlisting so quickly. Everyone is now, I think we're going to get into a panic mode type season because things are waitlisting so quick and people want to jump on them, but they're still on the fence. And then
like me, I last night. Well, I jumped on the wait list because that's what I really, really want. So I'm like, frack, I gotta put. What is it going to be like $30 something because it's $300, right? I mean, that's what probably the NRD is going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
But those wait lists convert quick. I was on a previous stream where I had a wait list for actually because I collected Walking Dead, the Governor, because I was like, damn, I missed out on it. As soon as I clicked on it, jump on the wait list, probably like within maybe 2 hours, if not 2 hours, that wait list converted.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of them that Electro, I was on wait list for that and it got converted.
Well, I'm on the wait list and I didn't have time to do it before the show, but when I came home, I got Green Goblin, Deluxe with the glider, and the regular one, and I'm gonna get the regular one so I can save money. I'm like, crap, I want to get the William Dafoe figure. So after the show, because I've got like till tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pre-order that one. I got the Wolverine one too, but only the Wolverine with the base. So some of these are now. There's a bunch of others I'm on that haven't converted, but let me go to you with this, Costa, because this did happen on the weekend though, and I know it didn't go back today, but sometimes when it goes on the week, it seems like if it happens during the week, like the Cad Bane, then it's for real, then it stays there. So what is this one? This one could come back, right? Or what do you think?
No, I think this is real. It would have come back today. I think this is real. I've been through this before. I've been through it with I don't know if people remember when Endgame Cap went on waitlist on a Friday, and I was like, oh no, oh! And then I order it, and what happens Monday? It's back on, and it's never been on waitlist again. That was years ago, but I would unless Sideshow is about to put in like another order. I would have thought that it would have changed today. Maybe they are. You know what? Maybe they are putting. I don't want to be 100% on this one. I'll be 99.8%.
99.8.
That this is not coming back. I don't, and I do not see, like, I can't see them making another Cobb Vanth. Like, I know he was in the book of Boba Fett, but
not right now. That's till he shows up until another show.
I don't even know if they're gonna do it then. I mean, it's I want to say that, like, with all these Disney Plus shows and everything, it was like, Fast and Furious with the figures, and now, like, these last few weeks, it's been pretty slow, which I've kind of been enjoying, but also not enjoying, because I feel, I like the feeling when you wake up in the morning and then it's like Christmas. You're like, oh my God, this is coming! Yeah. Yay!
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. This is gone, and you're gonna spend like 25 to 50% more on the secondary market for it. I think that's what it's going to be like now, unless there's another pandemic, and God, we don't need another one of those.
No,
we got a huge influx of collectors, overbuying, and even Hasbro.
I saw an R2 Costa yesterday. I put it in my market show.
Yeah.
These are selling like over the 300s. I saw a freaking clone pilot go for $350. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? A clone, not the clone pilot, a clone trooper.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Hasbro's doing the same thing. They're cutting their supply. So, like, figures they're not going to be as many available. So this is going to be, we're going to be in the lean years unless you are willing to pay the aftermarket if you don't pre-order. So.
Well, is that Brother Cousins? We're going to jump to him, or is it the Space Bib, or is it the Wizard, or is it happening again? Is it happening before?
Now.
Is it happening now?
What happened to then? We passed that. When? Just now. We're at now. Go back to then. When? Now. Now? I can't. Why? We missed it. When? Just now.
Just now. I love that.
Brother Cousins, what's up, baby?
What's up with you? So happy to be here. Yes, right now I'm so happy to be here. Sorry for being late, everybody. No, definitely. This wonderful, lovely panel. How y'all doing tonight?
Well, listen, I don't know if you got a Colt 45 back there, but maybe you can kind of take a sip and tell us about your thoughts about Cobb Vanth. That's kind of what we're talking about here. Now, some of us were thinking, I put out the show yesterday. It was a Sunday. And then I got a bunch of messages. Aries, hey, you didn't talk about the Cobb Vanth, or did you see it that happened? I'm like, hey, it happened late. But it happened on the weekend. So I'm not sure, but it's been gone all day to Costa's point. I kind of agree with him. Are you surprised on this one?
I think what it is the sign of the times. I really think that's what it is. I think, a couple years ago, we were like, don't pre-order. These things are going to come. You look for the best deal. And they had, Sideshow adjusted. They set on a lot of stock. We know the story. They had a lot of stock. I mean, they couldn't give away all those Thanos or Thani or whatever you want to call it. They had so many sitting just in stock. And what it is now is they don't want that stock sitting around. So they made they have got a special order, special amount. Once that's gone, it appears that it is gone. We haven't, the Purge Trooper is a good example. Like, that is gone, so.
And they let that one come out, and then it was available for it seemed like a few days, and it was like,
yeah.
Because remember with the Ahsoka and the DX Ahsoka, we were kind of like surprised, like, okay, it went on wait, and then they put it out. Purge Trooper, they're like, oh, we're putting it out. It didn't go on with no warning. We're like, oh, it'll be around. Then it just went a few days later.
And we've seen this before with the Revenant Trooper. That went quick as hell too. That was here and gone. And back then they probably thought that, yeah, this is not going to sell like that. Let's just do a small amount. We'll just get a small run because there's so many other great figures coming out that time. And that's probably where they learned to do the methods that they're doing now. Like, okay, small numbers, small batches. That's the way to go right now. Because I was surprised to see Ahsoka go the way that she did. I'm thinking like, yeah, they're going to make a whole whomping pile of those just to have it, just to have in stock. But I think the answer to that is to give us different variations of the figures that we love. So then they can just flood the market with those. But when they're gone, they're gone. That feeds the collecting community. And that also gives people in the community that may have missed out on one Ahsoka, they can get another one. So, and it also retains value of those figures. Yeah, exactly. And then with the show coming out and everything like that. But it also helps retain values of the figures, because when stuff is just sitting, we know how it is. If it's just sitting, and I think they also saw that with the original Ahsoka, the Clone Wars Ahsoka. Like, that one's still around. The Rosario one Dawson isn't.
Let me ask you this before I move to someone else in the panel. We got 130 in there. So I want you to pause. Everyone take 10 seconds and smash that like button. I do appreciate your support. It only takes a few seconds. Go ahead, grab your mouse, grab your trackpad, hit the like, and then we continue. Brother Cuz, I got to ask this because Costa brought this up. I want to go around the panel with some of this. So these are going for hire in the secondary market. I'm seeing people sell these for hire. Now, some of them are right at retail.
Yeah.
Some of them are higher than retail.
Yeah.
Some of them are, maybe $10, $20 under, like normal, what used to be normal, but nowhere near like $100 under what we're seeing the last few months. But you know what I'm starting to notice with these that have hit waitlist? I'm wondering if it's a trend. A lot of regular stores on eBay are just putting these figures on, not for the retail price, but for like 40, 50, 60 bucks more. And I'm not talking about like what Tim Cent does and all them, which is great to get it early. I was talking about a lot of US and European sellers just putting it on and saying, hey, okay, we're selling these for 150, but we're going to sell these now for $50 more. Are you noticing that too? And that's what I'm seeing happening.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. And honestly, as a seller on eBay, there's a lot of things to consider with that. One, yes, they want to, if they know it's out, supply and demand. If they know it's out, if they know it's completely sold out at Sideshow, that will give people the incentive to go to the black market. So that makes sense. But also, when you're trying to make your money back, and listen to a lot of people that sell on eBay, they don't get into figures at cost. So they have to make up for those seller fees. They have to make up for those taxes. So that's another reason why they sell a tad bit higher. And they can, because if it's the opposite way, if you can still, because I've been on an opposite side of it, where it's on eBay
I'm sorry, it's on Sideshow. It's available, and people are like, hey, I could use points to get it. I don't have to buy from you, and I don't have to buy used. So I would have to mark it down a tad bit just to get it to sell. And then that's when you take hits, and you fall into the whole thing. Some money is better than no money, depending on where you're at. If you need the funds to fund another collection, or you just need the funds. So what sellers are doing now, they know they can't buy them. They know they're the only game in town. So they're not going to mark it up too high, because if you mark it up too high and you be greedy, it's going to sit. Because look, I mean, people, when it comes to gas and eggs, people are going to pick gas, eggs, and Pampers, and instead of buying a hot toy. So
you made me pause for Pampers for a second, but I'm like, yeah, because I was like, hey, luckily, I'm past that stage with my kids, but not you, baby, not you.
No.
I can't even imagine what they go for now. It's got to be more than
They go for NRDs. They go for it.
There you go. NRDs for real.
They go for NRDs. Go for it. NRDs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
Goodness gracious. That's funny stuff. Funny stuff. And look who's in the house. Is it the Hot Toys Wizard or is it? I think it's Lael. What's up, Lael? 1-6 scale, man. What's up, baby?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? You good?
I am good. And how are you today? How was your weekend? How was your Monday? We're sitting here. We're having fun. 6 scale raw. Everybody's talking about Cobb Vanth. And, I want to also talk about how much I'm looking forward to this figure and adding it to the collection and this head sculpt and whatnot. But, we're just hanging out and having a good time. How are you?
Pretty good, man. I mean, it's been a busy weekend. I'm between work and fixing up the display and stuff like that. It's been incredible, man. Like, it's definitely been incredible. Shout out to again Costa for the amazing idea of creating
dude, you killed it. I just want to say that's phenomenal. Phenomenal. And that's one of the things I want people to do. Like you can do all kinds of stuff with those back panels and the surface and the floor and stuff, man. You can modify it, make it any way you want, and it is beautiful. It is beautiful.
Again, it's just more space and opportunity to storytell. You know what I mean? If you want to tell a story, and shout out to I can't say it without giving a shout out to Latoya, because when I was coming up with the actual concept, she's the one who was like, well, why don't you create a concept, centered around the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of situation. I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, just think of the fact that maybe, Batman, instead of killing a Joker, captured him and is using him sort of like a Silence of the Lamb type of character, where he keeps him contained while he helps him solve certain crimes.
That's dope.
And I was like, shit, I never thought of that before.
That's
so I was
fucking dope.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. I was like, let me actually do that. So shout out to her for the idea.
I almost wanted you to take it to another level and just like incorporate some stop motion shit and just like really, because it's great storytelling there, man. Great storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, literally it is, bro. And I did that. So today or last night, I put up the display for the my Mando verse. So I'm currently working on that and just kind of mixing things around. And the thing about it is, it's like you pose it one night, and the next night you come downstairs and you're like, I don't like that pose. So you do have to kind of remodify certain things. So that's what I did the entire time, was to spend my time modifying and just redoing some things. But I'm having a lot of fun. I'm not off the detox. I'm just gonna let y'all know that I'm not. But I am going to create another Costa case, eventually, to tell another story. And it's crazy, bro, because that Costa case is just circulating everywhere. Everybody's saying that now. It's not just
I know
Costa case.
That's Bob Dylan. That he started it, and then Kiko just put it in a video and just made it.
That's awesome.
It.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's good to have you in here, Lael. And I want to jump to you, but before I do, this is how I'm going to open it up. And I want to first say, I'm going to read in that ledger says, so I looked at my April 2022 gas bill and it was 2022. This April, it was 97. What the heck? Terrified of the bill coming this summer. No, listen, my friend, read in that ledger. I think this is good because we're all kind of feeling it. I was, again, talking to my wife, again this weekend, and I'm like, darn, making more adjustments, and it is hard. It is hard for a lot of people. But here's what I want to do. I want to jump around the panel real quick before I go to Lael on this. And, real quickly, Mr. Mom, are you getting Cobb Vanth? Yes or no? Are you getting this figure? Is it on your docket?
I got him last night. Yeah, we got
so
him last night.
You got him last night. So you're in with him, Ryan. Lane, are you getting Cobb Vanth?
I put him on waitlist, but we'll see. I probably not. I don't.
But you put him on waitlist to kind of think it over.
Yeah, basically.
Costa, are you getting him?
He was ordered February 12th.
So you got him already ordered. So there you go there. Second brother, what say you on Cobb Vanth for you?
Yes, sir.
Yep, you're getting him. And brother Cousins?
Definitely getting him.
Okay, I'm definitely getting him as well. And I told you guys what I had to do. I went right on. I know it'll convert because they've been. Lael, are you getting the Cobb Vanth? Is that something, or is that something where not really for you?
Oh, nah. I was one of the few people who love Book of Boba Fett, so hell yeah, I'm definitely going to do that.
I love it too, baby.
I literally did, bro. I loved just the entire series. Things that people didn't love. I mean, granted, like the whole gang situation, I didn't particularly wasn't really. I nudged them out of it a little bit, but everything else I did love. It was entertaining for me. It's Star Wars, so you already know. It's a soft spot for me. So, yeah, I enjoyed it, bro. And yeah, I'll actually have it. I'm not going to have him with the armor on. I'm going to make sure the armor's off. I want to keep with the times itself. It just makes more sense. I never liked him with the armor on because it just looked weird.
It did. He looked
too skinny. You know what I mean? So it just didn't really work. So I think he looks badass without the actual armor, and it makes more sense. So yeah, I'll definitely have it.
Now, with that head sculpt, because we're talking about a bunch of stuff different here, and talking about some of the figures, the heat that's coming out. I'm under the opinion now. This is my personal opinion. I like the head sculpt that they've shown, but I have a funny feeling, Lael, that when that comes out, I think it's going to be a home run. I just think it's going to come out, and maybe it's my hope, maybe it's just my desire that it'll be. But some of these figures that are coming out, or that are set to come out, I'm really, really interested to see how they turn out. But I have high hopes that one's going to be killer, Timothy Oliphant. And then also what I like about it as well, and we were talking about it, it has like the red outfit, and then with his red handkerchief, like what he wore in Book of Boba Fett besides the armor. So if you want to like pose him like Book of Boba Fett, or you want to pose him like the Mandalorian show, I think it's versatile. You can do both with that figure, but I'm hoping with that the figure just I feel like that they're continuing to hit new levels, and I have a feeling with that one, maybe we're going to be very surprised on how it comes out. What do you think?
You know what it is, bro? Like I err on the side that I really, when it comes to head sculpts, bro, like I'm more forgiving with Star Wars than I am. I really don't. When it comes to Marvel, I really don't really care because of the simple fact that I don't look at the IP for the head sculpts, because I look at comic book accuracy. So I can care less what the character looks like, whatever. If it goes to it, I'm fine. Same goes for Star Wars. Like whatever they come up with, bro, they come up with. I'm not going to be fussed about it. I like the way the head sculpt is right now. We already know that. For instance, when Shang-Chi drops, the head sculpt was noticeably different. You know what I mean? You could tell that it was kind of like a bit different. The only head sculpt I think that we've gotten that actually has improved behind the level of perfection that it was already at was that Boba Fett 2-pack.
Yes.
That head sculpt had improved beyond what they showed us.
It sure did.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's one of the best ever. I think it is.
The best ever, bro. Like even when I was doing the display yesterday, I kept looking at it. I was like, yo, I don't know if I want the helmet on or off. That's why with the
I just took the helmet off it.
No, I had the Nomad. Yeah, I had the Nomad version, so I still represent with that one. But my point is, it's definitely whatever we get from it, I'll welcome either way. I'm not fussed about it. I just, again, it's Star Wars, bro. So again, I'm always going to be forgiving. That's just the way I see it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Everybody in here, make sure you go ahead, smash the like button, subscribe to the 1/6 Scale Man. I got the link in the video description. Ryan, Mr. Bob, link in the video description. Jay, Brother Cousins, the Space Pimp, got him in the video description as well. The link to his channel. Same thing with Pop Culture Living Room. We have got Costa in the video description as well. Make sure you go ahead and do that. Lane, the Midnight Collector, and Second Brother, it is coming. It is coming. It is coming. Listen, I don't want to digress. Mr. Bob's Collectibles. So a lot of people have been asking me in the chat, and I want to bring this up and let you go ahead and start this off. So there's this particular figure here as I'm putting up, Mantis. And honestly, I was a little surprised with the way, we talked about Electro. And we talked about Doc Ock, and we're talking about, some of these other figures, that are going on, waitlist before they come out. I was a little surprised that this one wasn't getting that yet. But now with the Guardians out, I'm not really surprised. This one here, kind of a holiday special. I'm not really surprised with this one that they're putting it. I'm wondering if they're going to come out, and I think that they are. This is my opinion. When they've been advertising lately over the last year or the last year and a half anyway, Mr. Bob, they've been coming out with their little blasts, every little one of them. So she's in that blast. They're probably getting rid of this one here. I'm not so surprised, but this is I think a gorgeous looking figure. Are you getting this one? And what do you think about this?
I'm torn. I if it lasts till tomorrow, I'll probably pre-order it. I might look at a backup site first before Sideshow, because I'm kind of pivoting off of Sideshow when it comes to certain figures. Only because for example, I know Sideshow, right there, you see that expected ship date January to June. They might start wanting you to make payments on that thing now. You know what I mean? Or a month before. So I got to see what the payment schedule is like on it, to be honest, or a month or two before. I might hit a backup site first to see if I get a little bit cheaper. I personally, like I said, between Guardians, it probably gave it a little bit extra of a oomph, like a little push for people to kind of look at it. But to be honest with you, I'm a huge fan of, I don't know how to describe it. I call them randos in my collection, meaning they're like one-off unique figures, like John Wick. There's nothing else right now from John Wick Chapter 2. He's a standalone kind of figure. RoboCop, standalone kind of figure in my collection, meaning they don't really go with anything, but they're unique. And she's a unique piece because she came from the holiday special. So it's kind of weird to have her with the other Guardians, but it's still so cool. I love that figure. I've heard people buy, I heard people early on, where they were going to get her and just break it out for Christmas, make it like a holiday tradition and then put it back in the box kind of thing. It's a cool piece. I like these. And, I have kind of a short list on my spreadsheet of one-off figures that I'm keeping eyes on. For example, Gore from Love and Thunder. I mean, that's a Christian Bale figure. That's still an awesome looking figure for a villain. You know what I mean? So I look at those one-off, like Kang the Conqueror. We don't know if that character most likely is going to get recasted or what they're going to do with that. So that might be one that, and to be honest with you, he looks cool with the Guardians of the Galaxy, even though they're not together. He would look cool with them because he has that cosmic kind of look. So he's one on my short list of I might have to get him just because I want him. But the fact that we don't know what's going on with the character, it might perpetuate that. But this Mantis, it's really cool. And it looks like the same sculpt, at least in the teaser photo from the Volume 3, a little slightly modified. It makes sense for them to reuse it. But I'm not necessarily shocked by it dropping like this. I am interested to see how fast it goes because we're getting reports It's like breaking news that it started a few hours ago. So I'm interested to see if she makes it to maybe tomorrow, especially because the weekend has passed. Like if this one goes, I'm very interested to see if it goes waitlisted within the week, if it does make a comeback, because it's, the weekend's passed and it's on a Monday. So if she goes out of stock like on Wednesday, that might be it. Jump on the wait list for her. But it makes sense. It goes back to my whole theory that I mean, if you have 4 or 6 months, I think that's more than enough time to figure your stuff out, man. I really do.
Yeah.
I think like how much more, and then a lot of it comes down to like panic buying, like Cobb Vanth. Like everyone hated the figure. If you remember,
that was like 6 to 8 months. That was a little longer too.
Yeah, and now everyone's like, "Oh, jumping on the." I mean, like you had enough time to figure it out if you were getting that figure or not. I mean, yeah, I admit I got it at the last second, but a lot of these figures by now, like I think like 5 months, 4 months is more than enough time to figure out like what to do. In my mind, honestly, I have a couple figures that like I kind of want to get, and I won't lie, I wouldn't be upset if they went waitlist, because that kind of makes the decision for me not to get them. Like there's a few figures I kind of want to get. Like I'll be real with you, Dead Strange. I really wanted Dead Strange. I think he looks awesome, but I'm not he doesn't fit in my vibe of what I'm going with right now. So I ain't gonna lie, if he went waitlist tomorrow, they kind of did me a favor and saved me some money. Like there's a couple figures where I kind of want to get them, but I'm like, if I saw them tomorrow, like waitlist, all right, I'll move on to something else. I'm not.
Yeah, there's certain figures that don't fit my.
Mantis is kind of in that realm right now, because I probably get Mantis from volume 3. I'd probably pass on this one. That's where I'm kind of more.
No, good stuff, Ride, as I go to Lane here. But guys, so I'm trying to, for some reason my brain isn't functioning. Imperial Droid just came out and already waitlisted. Can you guys talk about this big news? What's the Imperial Droid? I'm confused.
The statue from Sideshow.
It's a statue, the 875 statue from Sideshow.
When did it come out? I think I remember. When did that come out, though?
Last year.
Okay.
Last year.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
September. Lane, so I mean, I think that's not. It's been happening with some of the stuff on Sideshow. You sent me messages actually, Lane, about some of these statues as well.
I remember I sent you just like, hey, this is look at the power of Star Wars, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The Force is sucking them into the waitlist side, whether they wants to go or not. That it's I mean, that's a really cool thing. That Probe Droid is a great statue. And it's also nice because it's
well, Lane, let me ask you this. I mean, how many people do you think, like, if they come out with the Mantis from what they've already teased with the new Guardians of the Galaxy 3, is that going to turn people off from this? Do you think some people will back out of this to get that? Because people were asking the same thing about the C-3PO. Like, hey, okay, the Attack of the Clone ones went, but really more people wanted the Return of the Jedi one. Do you think it could be something similar here, or not really?
No, well, I mean, the thing is, I think most people who would get this Mantis are ones who already have Guardians already. Because, I mean, you literally take this off, and this is her Guardians 2 outfit, or, Endgame / outfit, Endgame and Infinity War. I mean, you can take all the Halloween stuff off, and it's literally her regular outfit, which is, if I got her, how I would have her. I want her in that outfit. I don't really care about the holiday stuff. But I think if people are starting with Guardians 3, then they'd probably be more like, I don't think they would get this one. I think they would get, that's a cool figure, the 1/6 scale Probe Droid. But it's expensive.
Kind of like the legendary scale Yoda right here. Yes.
Yeah.
Or the N1. Sorry, I had to bring
I know, you mean the one that's never coming, because I say no. But see, the thing is, if I was buying Mantis, I'd be this one, because I don't like the uniforms for Guardians 3. They're like literally the one thing I look at. I'm hopefully finally going to go see Guardians 3 on Thursday, because I'll be off from work that day. But I just think this has been bought by people, and I always think because it was also the holiday special, which was a Disney Plus, like short, basically 45-minute or 50-minute movie thing. I always figured that this one might have a short half-life that it was going to be available for, because they're going to have the other one probably come out. So they're like we were talking with, I mentioned with Cobb earlier and some of the other season 2 Mando figures. They're kind of probably trying to move those towards the wait list so that they can, like for Mando, they want to start announcing the season 3 figures with a clean break. I think it's the same thing here. Like they were going to have a certain amount of time this one's available, because probably most people who buy it would be who have Guardians 2, and then we're going to have fresh Guardian 3, however, many figures. I mean, do I think they would reuse this head sculpt? Probably. Because they see like Rocket, they reused for the first 2 figure. Well, maybe not Groot so much, since he's a different look, but Rocket was pretty much the same.
So are you getting this one, Lane? Yes, or no, you're not getting this one?
Mm-mm.
Good stuff, Lane. Costa, let's go to you on this. I mean, do you think that this is kind of one of those things where some people are like, oh, wow, like they heard with the C-3PO. I've had people reach out to me like, areas I was concerned about the Attack of the Clone was, but now there's a Return of the Jedi one. I pre-ordered that one, and I don't really need the Attack of the Clone one. I'd rather have the ROTJ one anyway. And I'm sure that there's people that would rather have the prequels one, that are more prequels fans. They grew up in that era. Do you see something with this? And you surprised on? I'm not surprised on this one. I think it's the right timing. I think it's within that 6 to 8 months range. Costa. And you may be on mute, brother.
You're muted, Costa.
No, I wasn't. I was faking it. No.
That's pretty damn good.
So, what I was gonna say is this is one of those figures that was in the coming soon graveyard for so long,
forever,
right?
Yep.
And we did get that figure essentially with added accessories of the Christmas stuff, which is great because 300 part of the year, straight regular Mantis outfit. Christmas time, you throw all the Christmas stuff on. It's beautiful. I don't think this is like I don't think this is similar to the 3PO thing because it's like Mantis is really divided up into 2 different phases. So this is like the first, end game and earlier phase, and then Guardians 3 with a uniform that matches everybody else. It's a totally different thing. So the people who already have the Guardians, like Lane said, and like I have Nebula and Gamora back there. I did pre-order her earlier this evening to make sure I had her.
You had it.
I moved strictly to Star Wars, but this is like one of those figures I had to make an exception on because I do love the Guardians of the Galaxy a lot. It's one of it's in my top Marvel movies. So I do love the team. I love James Gunn's writing. So it was I was trying not to, I was hoping it would be released, but what can you do? So I pre-ordered it. It'll go next to Gamora and Nebula, and I got Peter in there. I just need to decide on a Groot of the older ones, and possibly. Well, I want to see what the Drax is like. I want to see. They probably won't do it where you can take off the jacket and he's all, got his skin markings and what have you. That would be great if they did, but not. Go back and look for a Drax and hopefully find one at a decent price.
Yeah, and if we get, for me with this Mantis one, good stuff there, Costa. Second Brothers, I'm going to you with this Mantis figure. I'm probably I want to get all of the Guardians from this new movie, and I've talked about that, from the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So this one for me, like a lot of the other ones that went on waitlist, it's a pass for me anyway. So really no sweat off my back. But there's some of them, they are, like I told you, but like I told you earlier, by a Green Goblin, the Green Goblin, the non-deluxe version without the glider, that converted, doing that. The Wolverine, I'm doing that one. This one I'm going to pass on. I do really think that we're going to get probably that whole group they put on the. No one knows for sure. They may not, but it just I think that they're kind of sticking under that, especially with these lower runs, and they're putting these out. They're putting out a bunch of figures that they don't require a whole lot of volume of, and probably they're going to use that head sculpt like Lane was saying. I think it's a good point. So they'll go ahead and kind of reuse that mold, even if they kind of change the paint or whatever. Put her in the new suit and put that in. That'd be the one that I would want to get. But are you getting the Mantis figure, or did you already pre-order her?
Yeah, she already pretty much been pre-ordered, and the Infinity War, Thanos. It was like when I'm looking at it in my collection, I'm like, okay, it towers over everything, yes, but it's like something is missing. Like when I set up, something is missing. He's there, he's doing his thing, but it's something missing. So when I kept looking at it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get that Mantis. At least I can put her where she jumps on his back and like try to mind wipe him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's what that will pretty much set that figure up and set it off real nice. So yeah, I did get it. And also I think that it's pretty unique and pretty original to stand on its own. I think I was looking at a comment that you pretty much may never see her again. This may be just the only time you do. So yeah, she's pretty much pre-ordered and already pretty much have an idea what I'm gonna do with her.
Yeah, and brother Cousins, go to you. Good stuff, second brother. Also, that Mantis is a decent price. We're talking about the difference in Cobb Vanth because that one's like $300. And then we were talking about the Mighty Thor being that way too. Could it be licensing? Could it be this or that? Costa brought up a good point though that that was when they were looking like things were they were with inflation, and then they're like, whoa, we need people to buy these things, and then suddenly it seems like everything's kind of pretty, much in a good price here. But just your thoughts on this particular figure. Obviously, this one looks like, as you mentioned, brother Cousins, it's getting that time now. It's been out for months and months.
Yeah,
looking like this one's going to give way like the C-3PO did, and maybe we'll get another Mantis, which I think that we will. But this head sculpt does look really good, dude. I mean, this figure, in my view anyway, looks like one of these ones. I put a lot of stuff on the banner, Jay, that was like, damn, I'm really looking forward to some of the stuff they're coming out with. Are a lot of pieces too we've been waiting for a long time as well. I mean, we're waiting for the Padme. We're waiting for Mighty Thor. We're waiting for the Mace Windu. We've been waiting for a Mantis. So how about, are you getting this one?
Absolutely. I have pretty much damn near all the Guardians. And when I look at my display now, like all my Guardians are displayed pretty much are from the Guardians of Galaxy 2 line. Minus Drax and minus Drax, because he's a newer one. He's the older one. He's from the first movie. And when I look at my display, who's missing? This lady right here, Mantis, chick with the antenna. So yeah, I love the fact with this figure that you can take all that stuff off and she can just be, like Lane was pointing out, you could just have the regular Mantis version that we had in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and so on. So she'll probably most likely be in my display like that. But I do love the seasonal stuff because that holiday special was just amazing. Just brought you back. That's like a Christmas tradition now at my house. That short film, that was just great. But it's a couple of things going on with this figure right here. And one, we're at this 6 month mark because this was I think this came out towards the end of December, towards the end or the middle of December, something like that. So that makes sense that we're hitting it, that we're hitting that deadline, that 6 month deadline. The other thing, that movie is killing. Second weekend it was at the top. A lot of people are becoming nostalgic.
Baby.
Yeah.
It is killing it.
Yeah. That has a lot to do with it. A lot of people are feeling nostalgic from the Guardians. This may be, well, this is the last time we'll see that ensemble together like that with Gunn. So I think a lot of people are running the snap. It'd be interesting to see anything else from Guardians of the Galaxy if it's still around. Like, how is that Peter Quill selling from Infinity War? You know, if that's still around, it'd be interesting to see what's going on with the rest of the Guardians right now, because I think people are like, okay, this is kind of the end of an era with the MCU and this group as well. So people want to snatch it up. So yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect timing, and it's a good looking figure. It's a good look, and I think that's a great idea. To, you know, you have a lot of people that just love Christmas, and some people have just plain Christmas collections. So you may have people that jump out of, you know, that are just not even 1/6 people and be like, you know what, I'm getting this to go in my Christmas room. So yeah, you got that as well.
Well, you know, listen, baby, you know, is it possible? And I'll just advertise it really, really, really early. Is it possible that the Dark Jedi on Christmas Eve in 2023 is going to have his annual, Jay, I think you've been on it both years, his annual Christmas Eve special in the morning. And I think I'm going to say something that, you know, and I say yes. Wizards, brothers, cousins, uncles, nephew.
There you go.
Doug Gambino with the super sticker. Thank you so much there, my friend. I do appreciate that. And single songwriter puts up in here, Star-Lord and Mantis are brother and sister, both collectible. Thank you so much to a single songwriter. Always good to have the songwriter in the house as well. Lale, is this, I think, I don't want to say, is this one on your agenda? I think this one's on your agenda. Are you getting this figure?
Yeah. Sorry, because I'm kind of doing two things at once. But yeah, definitely it is. Has been since the very beginning, because it's, you know, has been since we saw it, you know, it's teased or revealed what we thought this figure would be in Purgatory. And they surprised around Christmas time, and they decided to release it. So yeah, it definitely is, man, and it makes so much sense to be. I'm one of the ones that is erring on the side of maybe not getting this new set, but just basically having this version of Mantis along with the rest of my Guardians. The only thing that I'll probably get from the new set, if I do, would be the Groot and the Drax, because I prefer the Endgame and Infinity War version of Rocket Raccoon. I love that version. You know what I mean? I just love the suit because it's so versatile. Not that I don't appreciate the new one, but yeah. But now this was definitely a must-have just to kind of help complete that team. I like the reason why I'm erring on that side, because I like the diversity between the team, that you don't have to have all of them in that same suit, that they all had their own uniqueness to them. So that's why I'm kind of looking at probably going down that road, which I'll probably end up doing. But yeah, yeah, that's what I'm definitely excited about doing, man. I can't wait to release it, because it's been long. It's been a long time coming for a lot of people who really wanted that figure. I'm hoping it's crazy. Like when they give us figures like that, we get teased by it. So this, like, we look back to all the other figures that are in Purgatory saying like, well, I hope you release these too. You know what I mean? Because these are just as good. You know what I mean? It's just a waiting thing. But I've just grown to whereas for me, I have to be very, very selective now about Marvel, because my Star Wars collection is what's so important to me. So again, it's just having to be selective. But this was one of the ones that I knew that I wanted from the very beginning. So definitely will have it when it comes out, man. I'm excited about it. So I can't wait. But I gotta get ready to go here in a second, because I gotta get prepared for this show coming up.
Yes, baby. Yep, baby.
But man, yeah.
Well, go ahead, Lane.
So I wanted to ask you one question before you got going to your show. Did you pick up that Carnage?
I have it. So I actually have it on order through Underground, but I'm just, something is telling me, I don't know what it is, but I don't know what I'm doing yet, to be quite honest. I don't know.
Well, it's a $500 minimum $445 figure before out of the box dependent tax.
Yeah, it's crazy because the thing is, it's like I like it, but do I like it enough? That's what it kind of boils down to. Because when we start looking at those price tags, then we got to look at everything else that we have that would make more sense. You know what I mean? So right now, ask me that question in a few weeks, bro, because
we're gonna mark it down, baby.
Right now, it's just like y'all were talking about finances earlier. That's a lot to kind of digest. So I kind of wait and see how that plays out. And when I'm looking at my display, what's going to happen? So we'll see.
And where can you fit them?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's cost of cases, baby. So it don't really matter.
As always, have the smooth answer to even what sounds like it should be a road full of potholes.
That's what I'm saying. The cost of cases, that's what they're basically utilized for. So he's saving a lot of people's lives. So anyway, man, thanks for having me here, bro.
Well, always a pleasure to have you in. You know, you're always welcome on everything.
Man.
Definitely, man.
You come in here. Make sure you guys subscribe to the 1/6 scale, man. Well, listen, every time you come in, I kind of do this, baby.
That's incredible, bro. That's incredible, man. But thanks, everybody. Have a blessed evening. And I'll talk to y'all later on, man.
Talk to you later,
Leo.
See you later. See you later.
So,
man.
That is literally Lale. And anytime Lale walks through the door into the room, that is literally some people just have magically pop up in their hand a cup of coffee and they start spilling it all over themselves.
Jay, let's go to we got 146 in here. If we're not at 100 likes yet, baby, what you gonna do? You gotta go ahead and you gotta click it now. Brother Cousins, I got to open this up with you because there's a lot of stuff going on. You said the same thing as like just about everybody said in here. And Mr. Bob was talking about. It seems like everything, we're on a pattern now. We know that things are going to hit waitlist. Here's the thing that's interesting. I'm going to bring up a couple of figures here. First of all, I cannot wait to get this Sasha Banks, this freaking Oscar Reeves figure, Jay. I cannot wait. It is beautiful. It is awesome. It's a Mandalorian. It's one of my top figures this year that I can't wait to get. However, this has been up for quite a long time. Kind of like the Purge Trooper.
Yeah. Kind
of like the Ahsoka. So you have to wonder, is this one going to be like where everyone feels safe? Like, I really, when I say safe, I mean, you want FOMO with this. It's been up well over a year. I mean, it's been like forever and a day. I mean, you know, you could travel to Mars and back. If you haven't made up your mind, it's going to go. However, I'm getting a feeling with this one. What if it goes like the Purge Trooper where they didn't even give you no warning? This is going to come out any day. Hot Toys puts this out on their Facebook. Everyone's jumping around. Oh, it's in stock. And then 3-4 days later, like the Purge Trooper, it's just gone. Damn. And then really gone. I think this figure will go insane in the secondary market because of go, baby. You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah. And that's the thing with, you know, with WWE fans or wrestling fans or just, you know, just fans of Sasha Banks or Money Monet, what, you know, she goes by, you know, so many different names now. If they Mercedes, if they really, are they going to really, you know, go in and get this figure like this? Or are they going to, did they make enough to accommodate, you know, did they think about that when they were making these or when they were, you know, Sideshow was, you know, doing their purchase for their orders? I think this is just like everything else. Like I see this having the same fate, Fennec Shand as well. I think this is having, these are
we're going to talk about that next, but yes.
Yeah, I think this is going to have the same fate as Ahsoka. Like it's going to be there. We're going to hear about it as soon as it hits the Hong Kong market and it's up for sale, I think this thing people are just gonna go crazy and just buy it up, and it's gonna be gone, just like Ahsoka. We're gonna see this hit low stock as soon as it hits the Hong Kong market. It's gonna hit low stock.
Okay, so let me ask you a question on this.
Yeah,
because this is like this happens like with this figure. Grailability. Good Morning Grails is a show that you do.
Yeah.
Grailability with this figure, if it happens like that, I personally think it'll be like I think it'll be a grail. I really, really do. I don't know when, and I think it'll be hot fast. Right now, you can't keep in the secondary market right now, Jay. The Bo-Katan and the Chrome Mando are actually going higher than the retail price. It's kind of hilarious right now. Supposedly on how it's a little controversial Mandalorian season 3. I talked about it in my show yesterday. Because the freaking finale was up 24%. And at least with the general public anyway, they're buying Mando crap out the wazoo. So that's what they're looking at. And I'm actually looking at the popularity of the Mando and Grogu. That freaking life-size Grogu went on waitlist, not like some of the other figures that do. And people are like, oh, yeah, it's going to stay half price. That freaking thing's going for retail. So it's hot. And I think she will be so hot if they do this.
I think it's definitely going to be hot. Another thing, I think people forget she was in that room with Luke and all at the end of season. At the end of season,
if you're setting up that scene, yes, you
want all of them. I know I do. I like all of. I think all of us here on this panel had a real emotional connection to that scene. So I want everything from that. I want
Cara Dune too. We'll have to get the premium format, I guess. But.
Yeah, we need that's the whole.
I don't know if you want to hurt your eyes with that.
With what the premium? Some of those are great.
Not from anything I've seen that portrait.
That Darth Tower was premium format. I would love to have that, but that was many years ago. But let me jump to you, Mr. Mom, with this because this is interesting. This one here. And with everything that's kind of going up in the secondary market with some of these figures here, this one has showed no signs, though. However, Ryan, the Purge Troopers showed no signs either. So part of me was thinking, the Purge Troopers going to go the old way. They're just going to put that out. And then Brother Cousins brings up a good point because I want to talk about this too with all you guys here. If they do it with Fennec Shand, do you know how many? I mean, I think it'll be a little bit of an interesting topic. Because they've got a lot of Boba Fett and the Thrones in stock, obviously. Okay? Because it's still in stock. But if they do like with frickin' Fennec Shand, that's going to be crazy. Because I think that it won't match the amount of Boba and the Throne out there. But I can't see them making an exception. Like, you know what? Let's order. Will they order a ton of Fennec Shands? Be like, we'll make an exception there. We'll keep them in a warehouse for 2 years. Talk to me, baby. There's a lot to talk about here.
Yeah, I mean, she's another one that's on my. I don't have the Boba on Throne, but I have the Boba 2-pack, and it's once again that goes back to one of those where that head sculpt is beautiful. Same thing. This head sculpt. These are head sculpts that I hope they don't do it. Like the prototype is so perfect that I really hope that this Costco Reeves doesn't change. Same thing with Fennec. I think there's. It's part of the reason why I like Star Wars. I think they've been nailing female head sculpts like unbelievable. I think they're hitting them out of the park. But yeah, I think the same thing. I mean, these sat for a while. I don't think they're going to make any changes where they're going to order more. And this one's on my radar. Like I'm going to pre-order this one. I'm going to get Casca because I didn't intentionally. I wanted to get her, but when I didn't know if I wanted because now I got to get Axe Wolves too. And I know he's available, but I got to get a deal on him. No sculpt. I think he's like I forget what he is. He's like 235, 240.
Ryan, before you do that, though, do that, let's say you do that and you get a deal on him, and then they give you another Axe Wolves. I think they're going to give you another Bo-Katan. I just think they're going to do it.
Well, I was listening to your question about Costco Reeves potentially hitting that Grail status, and I think there's a couple tests that we have to see. Number one is, are we going to get another Costco Reeves from season 3? She was in it, not as much prominent, but will we get another one of her? And like you said with the Axe Wolves, like is the Night Owls, is one going to drive up the value of another? I mean, look what happened with Bo-Katan. I mean, her story arc was so good in season 3. Everyone that said they hated her, I mean, for those couple of weeks, the market was flooded with everyone buying Bo-Katan figures. And now I have Bo-Katan, and if they do a season 3 version of her, I'm still going to get that one too, because I like that look better with the straight hair and, you know, that whole look. I like that look better than her. So I originally was going to get the 3 of them, but yeah, I'm on the fence about it, to be honest with you. But Costco Reeves, I'm 100% going to get her in the next probably couple days, because I think the sculpt is beautiful. It's a great. This is one of them, I would display it with the sculpt. Obviously, you can't put that one in the box. That one has to get displayed. And then same thing with Fennec. That's another great figure that can get paired up with Mando, with Boba. There's versatility to that as well. And I think that they're going to surprise, but it's the same thing. I mean, these figures have been sitting for such a long time that, I mean, if you don't have it on pre-order now, you can't kind of cry about it when it kind of goes, because you had so much time for it. You know, you had so much time for these things being out, that I think some of them are going to sneak under the radar, where they're just going to go, you know, they pop up and then they're going to be gone. I just think sometimes people are really waiting on what's going to happen with like these figures you're bringing up. I think they're kind of waiting for season 3, like what Mando season 3 figures we were going to get. But I think it's going to be a tipping point where the collector doesn't exactly, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like if you want Casca, you might have to get her now, even if season 3 figures start to come out. So it's kind of hard. But like with the Fennec, I don't think they're going to make more of her because of the Boba and Throne. I think it's just going to sell out when it sells out, honestly. So I'm definitely going to pick up both of them though, but I got to kind of time it out and pay off a couple things first. But so I'm definitely playing the game. I'm definitely, you know, treading water right now with her, because I think that those are due to come. Like I'm not going to be shocked if they go waitlist tomorrow. Like the ones you're pulling up right now, I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever about it personally.
No, I wouldn't be shocked either, and that's a really good point. And shout out to my man Anthony, the 6 scale Mafia, and thank you so much, Mafia, who's going to be on 6 scale Raw next week. 6 scale Raw, we got Anthony from the 6 scale Mafia on. Says here, Conan, what is the best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. Conan the Barbarian.
I'm responding to that quote because I did the Mafia. I'm groaning to that because like 20 years ago, my dad had a plaque of that saying in his business office, and his employees gave it to him. That was his approach to business.
Well, and that's actually pretty good, Lane. As a matter of fact, I'd like to say it's damn good, actually.
Cool. Sponsored by Darth Sidious for 1/6 scale Hot Toys.
Real quick, Aries. Who was it? 12-inch Moose Stream actually hit me up. He did a super chat like an hour ago, and he had a question, and he hit me up.
He
on
did
the side.
on here.
Yeah, you know, it got lost in the shuffle because it was in the commotion of so much going on. He had reached out to me earlier. He said, "Hey, can you just let Aries know that he had a question about something?" He put it in the form of a $5 super chat. It was at 9:17 p.m. to be specific. But I just want to give that.
Yeah. Well, Mafia, thank you so much, and see if I could go ahead and find that. While we're doing it, I'm actually going to bring this to Costa. I'm going to bounce around a little bit. Costa, this is interesting. We're hearing a couple of opinions here. Fennec Shand not going to match the Boba Fett's that are out there. That this is going to follow the same suit. I find that to be interesting, and I wonder if that's going to make this piece like a super grail. Like if this goes the same way like the R2 or like the 3PO or like the Clone Trooper or like the Ahsoka or like some of these other figures, but you got more Boba in the Thrones and you got more 2-pack Bobas and Boba by himself. That's really interesting. What is your thoughts? Where do you think they're going to go on this? It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, for me, one, I think I said it earlier. I definitely have this one on pre-order. You can't not get Ming-Na Wen. Like she's another one of those actor that she was Mulan. You know, like she's done a lot of great work, and I love her work. And to be able to have her as one of these badass Star Wars characters, I could go with, the Boba Fett. But she was also in an episode of The Bad Batch. So,
that's right.
With Cad Bane. So, like, you could take your Cad Bane and Bad Batch and put her with there. I know a lot of people probably will, do the whole throne scene, where they're both swigging the alcohol at the end of the season 2 of the Mando. Well, no, season. Was that season 2 of the Mandalorian? Yeah. Season 2 of the Mandalorian. God, it's like there's such a gap between seasons. It's just too much sometimes. But yeah, I was afraid that she was gonna go waitlist, and that's what I picked her up in February, with Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth, and I mean, this is you wouldn't think it, but she's a pretty versatile character, especially with how they've been using her, with the animation and the live action, and coming up, I think she'll be back. I think Boba's going to be back. I think.
Oh yeah.
There's
already rumors that's already been done.
Yeah, so I mean, they're part of the Mandoverse now, and it's all going to culminate into a big movie. And how can you not have Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, and Bo-Katan and all them come together, in that last movie to go up against Thrawn, which I cannot wait for that figure. But we'll talk about him when Ahsoka comes out.
Let's first see if Thrawn makes it out of Ahsoka.
Oh, he's going to make it out of Ahsoka.
He's going to make it out, man.
He is making it out of Ahsoka. Well, they're totally doing an heir to the Empire type deal for the movie. So,
but he wasn't around by the time of the First Order, so we can't 100% say. We never know when there may be.
He might die in the movie, but they're gonna bring it up to that movie. He's the big bad of the universe. So yeah, he's gonna make it until then.
You know what's funny, guys? You brought that up because no one's ever really gone. Let's see if I can find that trailer. 12-inch Moose Stream. I'm looking all over the place, baby. But listen, my friend, go ahead and ask your question. And is it possible that I will pull it up? And I say yes. So go ahead and do that. And I will definitely pull it up. And I know that some people are saying they're cold. Nothing I can do for you. Try
really? You're cold?
What was I going to say here? Oh, I'm hearing rumors that Cad Bane Lane is not dead. I don't know if it's from some of the one things I'm watching. I think I watched it on Star Wars, Meg, that type of thing. I kind of figured he's not dead anyway because he died on Tatooine. Lane, anyone who dies on Tatooine, unless you're like the deputy and you didn't die on
Jabba the Hutt.
Well, the deputy didn't die on the sands of Tatooine. He died on the porch.
Yeah.
On wood that was above the sands of Tatooine.
I mean, if you look at it, you could look at for nobody died on Tatooine, how did Bib Fortuna survive in the sail barge exploding under his feet necessarily or something? But they won't be at San Diego Comic-Con. They were talking about that in another stream I was in last night. But
this is
going to rent out the space.
So shout out to Ray at Hawk Wars Toys, great seller that I do buy from. Says not sure if this has been talked about tonight, but heard today that Sideshow will not be in San Diego Comic-Con. Is that a first time, guys? They've been in the last 5-6 years, right, or forever?
I think it's gonna be virtual, on YouTube.
How they've done it in the past. But they also laid off a lot of their social media department.
Wow. So, I mean, I still think so you guys are thinking that they'll still have something during the San Diego Comic-Con for people that buy off the Sideshow and for Hot Toys and that type of thing?
Well, they have in the past. They've had their own. They've had like the Hot Toys show off and everything. The previous couple of years. So I would assume it's just going to be cheaper for them to do that right now. Then they may not have all the staffing that they need either for doing. I mean, it's not that far away. We're like 2 months away or less.
Yeah, but it's San Diego Comic-Con. Isn't that a little like that? I find that to be. Jay, let me ask you on that one. Do you find that to be? I find that to be actually very interesting here. That they won't be at San Diego Comic-Con. Jay is freaking huge.
Yeah, it is. It is huge, but yeah, I mean, we got to also look at when the pandemic happened. Like nobody was doing anything, and they had like an online thing. Back then, I think that's where they were showing us like that's when I think that was like of 2020 when they were showing us like the new Captain Marvel figure. They were showing us a lot of stuff then, so I think they could do an online thing and just put out stuff. I mean, Hot Toys will probably do something that week and put out some stuff, and then they'll actually show it online, and so. It sucks that they're not going to be there in person, but they're probably trying to save money on break because it costs us a lot of money to actually be there and to have a booth. So they've probably figured, shit, well, since we're cutting costs, everybody's kind of tightening their bootstraps right now. The best thing to probably do is just to do everything online, and the buyers will come. I mean, if I was doing it, that's what I would do. So.
Wow. So it doesn't mean that we're not going to get, in your view, Jay, some nice reveals and some.
Oh, yeah, we'll still get
exclusives.
reviews. Yeah, we'll definitely still give some good views and new stuff and exclusives and stuff like that. But they're just not. They're gonna keep them. They're gonna put that money somewhere else and not just put it in in a space. It just makes better. It makes more sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to go ahead and bring this up. Second brother, I'm going to start off with you on this. I'm going to stick with Star Wars for a moment. This is a big shebang for a lot of people. And when you talk about figures that came out of the crypt, figures that were teased or shown for years and then finally revealed. And we're seeing what's happening today with Mantis, second brother. We're seeing what happened over the weekend with Cobb Vanth. We've been seeing what happened with the Purge Trooper and everything up to this point. But there has been hesitation. There has been disbelief. I get messages all the time. Aries, it just can't happen with this figure. It just can't. It won't. But there's no sign with this one right now, second brother. But do you think that any of these like this are going to fall off that path? Or do you think that when it's time, when this one comes close, whenever it is, it's going to be the same story? And the reason I bring that up is, for me, I don't know, man. I mean, this is probably my most anticipated release of this year. Is this best? I mean, this Bespin Luke is, and I got the DX07. I think you've got the DX07. I'm keeping on to the DX07, but this is the new and improved model. This is the new Corvette. I can't wait for this figure, but no sign on this one yet. But I'm getting a feeling that we may see a sign soon.
I think the closer to release. And once some people get it in their hands, then you're going to see the rush. I think probably because you had the DX07 out there, that we saw this one and we had the improvements and some pre-orders were made, but it wasn't one of those. I think it's one of those you had to wait. You had to wait to see what you get before people jump out there. Now, but for me, I pre-ordered it just for that alone.
This surprised me, actually, brother, when they gave us this again. Yeah. I mean, shoot, trying to get that helmet in the secondary market, you're paying like $150, at least before it was. I think you still are. Just for the helmet. just for this here. No, I cannot wait for this figure, and probably one of my most anticipated releases. Mr. Bob, with this one here, let's go to you. Do you see any?
I love this one.
Yeah, and do you see any? I'm bringing up some big guns here, and I'm gonna like this. Do you think it's the same story across the board, or maybe an exception because this one's a Bespin Luke? Or
it's an interesting one because I have mixed thoughts about this figure. Because it's definitely a nice improvement. It's a surprised one. You know, it came out well after the 40th or the anniversary of Empire, so it didn't come out exactly in line with the minimal amount of releases we got for that. It was kind of like, whoa, all right. It's an interesting figure because I'm just kind of throwing out opinions. For one, I like what they did with it, where it doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, devalue the 2-pack. Like, you have the 2-pack, you're still getting this one because it's something different. I know when they do a DX reissue 2.0, the first thing people are usually worried about is it devaluing the previous version that they have. Like, for example, I have the 89 Batman. Was it the DX07 or the 8? And, you know, the new one came out, the new, the 89 one. I still pre-ordered that one because I found value in that because I have the Batmobile. I'm getting the Hot Toys and the Jazz Inc. Batmobiles. I'm getting 2 Batmobiles. So, like, I found the value in that. And even that was an exquisite figure that I didn't know it could have used an upgrade. And Hot Toys sure showed us you can still upgrade everything. This is one of those, though, that I think it appeases everybody. Like, for me, when I think of Luke Skywalker, Empire is my favorite movie. This is my favorite version of Luke Skywalker. It's my favorite version of him. I do like the all black with like the bib kind of slung over, that look from Return of the Jedi. That is classic also. But for me, this Bespin Luke is hands down. If I had to choose one, like when I close my eyes and think of Luke Skywalker, this is the version of him, I think. I am a little bummed out about the pricing because we don't get USB lightsabers with this. If I'm not mistaken, this didn't. So that's another one of those areas where if the regular version was like I know that the collector's edition is $285 and the deluxe is $345. If the collector's edition was $300, I'd be in a Cobb Vanth situation. But Hot Toys kind of has me by the, you know, because it's Luke Skywalker, so they have my money anyway. So I'm a little disappointed that like it didn't have the USB lightsaber. Like that would have been the caveat. Like give us the USB lightsaber with this. And I was kind of hoping that with that technology, pretty much on every Jedi going forward from Kenobi, honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was kind of hoping Hot Toys would throw a Hail Mary and kind of pop it in there. You know, sometimes they used to do that. It was like surprise, you know, like they did that with Mysterio. They gave us Jake Gyllenhaal's head sculpt, and they didn't charge us any more money for it. So we got his head sculpt basically for the same price. Kind of hoping they just pop the USB lightsaber in there. I don't care about the rolling eyes or anything like that, even though it's got cool stuff. But it's my only gripe with the figure is I wish it, because if we don't do USB on this, I have to go get a CFFL lightsaber. Like this needs one, just like the Mando Luke right here. I have one on order that I'm getting. Like this needs to be lit up. It needs. There's certain figures I can do without. Like that Bespin Luke needs to have a CFL lightsaber, one way or another.
I agree.
Have one. 100%.
I agree. Yeah. Let me ask you, Mr. Long, real quick. I'm sorry to chime in. Do you think they could still do that?
Dude, I don't see why. I mean,
like, because does this one come with batteries, guys? Then Jay and
it's the old battery one. It's the same. Yeah, it's the same one.
So will they change? Like, maybe they will change it.
I would love it, man. I would love it if they just because Ares. This was the one, and Brother Cause. This is the one where I personally think that the DX line started to get devalued.
Yeah.
Now that we have rolling eyes with it. Look at Anakin Skywalker, 270, USB lightsaber, rolling eyes, a sculpt that's it's beautiful. And now you look at this, that's actually a DX. Like it's very devalued, in my opinion, where I could see them get like I was always one that says Hot Toys should just get rid of the DX series altogether and sprinkle those features in like as regular figures. Not every figure has to get it, but I'm just saying it's kind of hard to compare when you have this as a DX, quote unquote. And you have Anakin Skywalker at 270, and look what he comes with compared to Luke. It was kind of the downfall of the DX series, in my opinion, for this one. If they threw us a USB lightsaber, I mean, they have my money, so what am I complaining about? I'm still buying the thing because I have to have them. I don't have this Luke version, so I need them.
Yeah, and Coffin asks me here, Aries, please help me decide on which one to get, deluxe or collector. Well, I can tell you this: get whatever one feels right to you and fits your purse strings. For me, being a Star Wars fan, with this deluxe version coming with this helmet, I mean, I will tell you the difference between the special edition DX07 and the non one that doesn't come with this. You know, it's a difference of about $150 in the secondary market. It's just the darn helmet. But that was back then. There's been, you know, things that have changed now, as Mr. Bob was saying, and I agree with you, Ryan, on what you were saying. But for me, I have to get the deluxe on this because this is a piece. First of all, I'm not going to spend the money. You know, I've got the DX07, but not the one that came with the helmet. But I'm going to get this one. You know, confident.
You also get a different. You get the Dagobah base too, so you technically get two bases.
Oh yeah, you get more than just.
You do get the Dagobah base. Otherwise, the regular edition has like the freezing chamber base. So you get the Dagobah. It's either an add-on, so you get a little extra for your. I mean, whether it's worth it, I don't know. But I'd love to have a USB lightsaber. That would have made this thing perfect, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. What your thoughts on what Coffin said? I mean, I would definitely get though. This is one of those where I'm getting the deluxe because of the things we just talked about.
For me, it's always go big or go home. Go deluxe or nothing. Just because of the value. Especially on characters like this. Some characters, in my opinion, just hold more weight to my heart than others. Luke is my hero. You know, he's the one that I identify with when I was watching Star Wars as a kid, like a lot of us of the OT. So when it comes to Luke, I think I have like 7 Lukes now, and this will be my 8th. So yeah, go deluxe. That's what I say. Go deluxe. Especially for me because I have DX07, but I don't have the version with this piece right here. I don't have the helmet. I don't. So to have an opportunity to get this when this piece was selling for like $250 by itself at one point.
You're right. You're right.
It's a good little incentive.
It really, really is. Lane, let's jump to you. I don't know if this is the DX 25, a figure you're getting or not. But I feel like that with all.
I gotta say, you managed to pick one of the creepiest looks to have this entire time, man.
Well, look, dude, that's like a very creepy
it fits
part.
for the scene. I know, but it's just like
you're gonna have nightmares tonight.
I've been staring at this for like 20 some odd minutes now. I'm just like, Aries could not have picked any other view of this figure. And
no, well, Lane, what's more creepy, that or this? Come on now. Dude, when they come out with that, Lane.
Yeah, I mean, the other one that I would actually like them to do the Revenge of the Sith of that with two head sculpts, one with that facial expression, so you can put like Darkseid Anakin bowing down to him or Anakin Skywalker, and he's all looking nice and arrogant and smiling. But to say two things in relation, first off, to Pop Culture Living Room, I know you were saying earlier about there's no way Thrawn would die in Ahsoka. I'm gonna say, all I'm gonna say, if there's a Kathleen Kennedy, there is a way to subvert your expectations.
Why, Lane? Why? Why did you have to bring her up?
I just
Lane. I mean, now I got to fill up this damn table now because of you.
Let's watch in episode 4 as Thrawn gets Snoked, and then it's actually like.
Did you just say Thrawn gets Snoked?
Yeah, she gets Snoked, please. and we get like I forget what her name was.
Costa, tell me he's wrong, please.
Yeah,
you are so wrong.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong.
Thrawn is not dying in that series.
I'm just saying. I mean, or
Dave Filoni is too. He's.
I know.
He wouldn't let it happen. Dave Filoni.
But she's higher in the totem pole than him.
It doesn't matter. She's on her way out. It doesn't matter.
She is on her way out. She's on her way out, baby.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping
after Indy, you're gonna hear a couple weeks after Indy, it's gonna be like, yeah, I think I'm gonna step down.
Yeah, and
that's what's gonna happen.
And then the second thing I just say, first off, we're going to do a Mick Foley cheap plug to Brother Cousins. Make sure you check out tomorrow night, 8 a.m. is Brother Cousins. It killed me because I think I'm willing to bet I got it before him. He's going to be unboxing his Purge Trooper, his video. Make sure you go catch that out. Hopefully, Brother Cousins, for anybody else who may get a waitlist conversion, he's showing the appropriate way that you should be wearing gloves when you touch that figure because it's nice, shiny, and black. And
that's right.
Much like your Dark Trooper will have lots and lots of fingerprints all over it, faster than you could say, I would. Now I can't. Now that actually wouldn't be the best character to use than I was going to say. I was going to say,
what are you talking about?
There, but faster than Speedy
Wait,
Gonzalez.
did you have some of my wizard juice, baby?
I rambling on. I'm like, I lost track of what he was talking about like 2 minutes ago.
No, I was literally about to say as fast as Speedy Gonzalez, and I'm like, wait, I don't think you can mention that character anymore. And then also don't forget, I saw we're almost at 100 likes. We're at 94 currently. If we can get up to 100 likes before the end of the stream tonight, I will give away a membership to 6 Scale Cantina if we get to 100 likes tonight.
Yeah, Lane, you are
almost there.
Lane, I understood that, baby. That's
But now back. Sorry, not to get sidetracked, but to the figure itself. I think this figure is very cool with the Luke.
Yep.
But the thing that turned me off to this figure was the $60 price point difference. I never got over that $285 to $345. I know you've tried to convince me, telling me with like the Luke head, which is being reused from earliest figure, and all that stuff, that the base and all this and that was supposed.
Yeah, but I try to convince you that it's good at $345 for a Bespin Luke. It's a Bespin Luke though. It's a DX.
No. I'm talking about between the regular edition and the deluxe. The $60 worth of price difference,
dude. I brought this up when it first happened, though. That the heads,
it never convinced me. That's way too much. It should have been 330, maybe 320.
But dude, it comes with that freaking helmet, so they're probably just capitalized. They probably did their own market research and realized, hey, the first freaking one we came out with, the DX07, goes for.
Headless Luke Skywalker, man, what everybody want.
All right, listen, let's get to 100 likes here for sure. Costa, I got to go with you with this. So looking at this particular figure here, when you're talking about Luke and we're talking about Casca and we're talking about Mantis going on blue screen today, we're talking about these figures that have the potential to be grails. That's how we started off the program. Now, let's talk about some figures that are not on waitlist yet, but half of them are. The deluxe version is. The non-deluxe version is not yet. Here's one right here. Same thing with Andrew Garfield. Obviously, the Doc Ock, the Electro, the Green Goblin, gone. Still the non-deluxe available here. Same thing with Andrew Garfield. But in my opinion, Costa, these type of figures... people have been, waiting a long time for these iterations of Spider-Man anyway, obviously older here. I think that grailability on some of these, if it goes the same way, could be very high, baby.
I agree, especially like with these, like the one with No Way Home. It's got the nostalgia. There's a lot of us older folk who, I was in my 20s then, so, I was attached to Toby. Like, it was the first Spider-Man movie that just felt legit. Don't get me wrong, I like the one from the TV show from the 80s. It was a lot of fun. But this was like the first real freaking Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Batman are my top two, favorite superheroes. And Spider-Man's huge with the comic community, with the movies, and all of these figures going on waitlist is not a surprise to me. Not a surprise at all. The deluxe version for this one, the base, you could do without the base if you want. If you don't want to spend, the money on it. Although the regular version is 300, so it came out around that time that we were talking about, where we were seeing the start of the inflation and materials. Having material shortages and everything. So, so this Toby is expensive, but for myself, I think it's worth it because I love the suit, and two, in live action, this was the first Peter Parker that I knew, like the first real, Peter, like Sam Raimi loved those comics, so he,
and bringing him back
stays faithful, and
No Way Home,
everything.
and bringing him back in No Way Home, like you're saying, there's a lot of freaking nostalgia, like you're saying.
Oh hell yeah,
in No Way Home.
Yeah, so it was easy for me. This Doc Ock, the original Goblin. Those were like super easy pickups for me because I was more of a fan of the Raimi Spider-Man over the Garfield Amazing Spider-Man. But then I did it, I picked up Electro, Jamie Foxx, to round out that group. I just wish that the other two were not just bases. I wish Hot Toys would have just taken that
the Sand Lizard,
step, a little bit more initiative to give those.
They gave it to us, but they gave it to us in like those bases,
And I get it. Like they might have only been able to make them into like power poses, but look at King Shark. We got King Shark. Why couldn't we get the Lizard? And Sandman. I think Hot Toys could do something with that Sandman. Like the third party one was okay, and it's acceptable, but that I think Hot Toys with the resources that they have, they could have given us a really, really freaking good Sandman. So,
I agree. It was kind of like we got it, and then it was kind of lame in a little bit of a way.
See, what's funny is that I'm not upset about Sandman and Lizard being bases, because actually that works out for my Sinister Six, because I believe one of them has a little bit of like an electricity added on it, where I can take the Sandman with the flight pole and actually put Electro on him, and then with the Lizard put like Mysterio on him to build, because I have like a Sinister Six diorama that I want to do, and then you have Doc Ock, Goblin, so it actually works out. Like I was agreeing with you, Costa. Like I kind of wanted like full figures, but then I'm like looking at my display space. I'm like, wait a minute, I want to do like a Sinister Six lineup, and I'm like, oh, I could work these in like kind of a certain way. So this whole line is like, I'm very much antsy for this whole line. I really am dying for these figures.
Well,
and I think a lot of these are just great one-offs too. Like that Jamie Foxx sculpt is like unbelievable.
It is, and I can't wait for the final.
And we'll probably never see that version again. We'll never see Doc Ock again and we'll never see the Willem Dafoe again. So these are literally all one-offs that you'll never see again. So
I'd
get them.
And I'm gonna go to Second Brother with this one. I mean, for me, Second Brother, I want this figure. I'm getting this figure. I think you saw I got the Iron Spider because I really, really love that suit from Infinity War. Obviously, they showed it at the end of Homecoming, with Tom Holland. But I love that figure. I love the fact that you could take the head sculpt and you could take the two masks and it's magnetic like the Darth Maul and some of those other figures. I love that figure. But I do want to get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I think this was very special for a lot of people, Second Brother, this No Way Home. It brought a lot of nostalgia back. And it seems like the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going the same way popularity-wise and is really going back and bringing, Guardians full circle. And that's why I'm thinking we got a lot of people, said, hey, we're not going to get as many from this movie as we did. Even though we got Sandman and Lizard as bases, we got like all the villains. We got like all the heroes. And that's why I think we're going to get all the Guardians. I think they're going to play. I think those are your big Marvel movies. But I tell you what, I don't think people should sleep on this one or the Andrew Garfield dude, because I think these will be hot if it goes the same way as these other ones going on waitlist.
Yeah, exactly. I pretty much put a pre-order on this one because I wanted the different versions of Spider-Man together, and probably throw a little Miles Morales in there if they ever bring another one out with a head sculpt from the from the Miles Morales game. But man, it just you can't, if you collect Spider-Man, you can't be without this one. Just hands down. So for what we're getting, and you got Andrew, you got Toby, you just can't, you can't go wrong with that. Cannot go wrong with that. I think it'd be an opportunity missed if you did.
Absolutely. Brother Cousins, I we're talking again about Good Morning Grails, a show that you do that's very, very well. I think you may be getting some figures that would be earlier than anticipated some years ago because of the change of what's going on. I talk about it a lot every week on the Market Chart Show. We've been seeing more and more, but I'm pulling up some figures today, like Fennec Shand, Casca Reeves, just from Star Wars, that are unique, but then we're pulling up like Luke. We're talking about Mantis. We waited forever. Now we're talking about, like, you kidding me? Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, back, nostalgia. These will be hot if they don't get in stock, my friend.
I totally agree, especially this one right here. This has total Grail appeal and Grail ability. A lot of people were waiting for this. I know we got the original way back when, but this is way better. And it's just what a lot of people been waiting for. And what a great scene in the movie. What a great way to pull past, present, and future together. So yeah, I think this one is going to fly. This one is definitely coming home. Like, I'm all in on that No Way Home line. I can't wait. And this one is one of my most anticipated figures for this year. Honestly, I really can't wait to get it. I think they nailed the sculpt. I just think it's amazing. It's going to go. It's going to fly. This one is definitely going to fly because it speaks to a whole generation. There's a lot of kids that are now, like, in their 20s. They grew up. And second brother knows, my his godson, my nephew, this was his Spider-Man. So they would definitely love that. I think a lot of people are going to definitely love this, and this one's going to fly. This was going to fly off the shelves for sure.
Absolutely. And, pulling this up over here with all of us here on the paddle, Hawk Wars Toys with the $10 drop. Thank you so much there, my friend. And shout out also 12-inch Moose Stream said he put in a super chat, but just put it in, but no question. Thanks to you again, my friend. But he says here, bottom line, with people tightening their belts, the collector edition have been selling better. Aries, you demand. Well, thank you so much. I think everybody here's the man. You're the man too. Do appreciate that so much, Ray. And thanks, gentlemen, for another great night of Hot Toys conversation. Really do appreciate that. Hawk Wars Toys. Can't wait to open up your chrome-plated Mando with Grogu and the Boba Fett. Getting to it hopefully this week. And we'll do a crazy fracking unboxing for sure on that. Absolutely crazy. Thank you so much. It's been a great show here, guys. We're at the 2-hour mark. And I am so freaking excited about the show today, and about Star Wars, and about Marvel, and about where everything's going with these collectibles. I do want to point out, here's how we're going to do it. We're at the 2-hour mark. Mr. Mom's Collectibles, Ryan, you guys have got to subscribe to him. You're in here. Make sure you guys do that. I've got the link to Mr. Mom's Collectibles within the video chat below. the video description. Make sure you click on it. Show Ryan the love. Great channel. I'm going to be, is it possible that the Dark Jedi is going to be on Ryan's show this coming Sunday? And I say yes. So you're not going to want to miss that. I'll be on Mr. Bob's this coming Sunday around 8 o'clock or so. So make sure you subscribe to him. Brother Cousins toy reviews in the house. You can see me on Best of the Best. He has Good Morning Grails. He's got a whole lot going on. If you guys are not subscribed to Jay, subscribe to this man, the Space Pimp himself. Right in there. Let's go ahead right now. Let's show these guys love. Jay, Ryan, really great having you in here, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, as always.
Absolutely. Pop culture, and I missed him. He had to go. He has to head out. But it was so great having him in here. Pop Culture Living Room. We're going to have him back. Costa. I've got the link to him as well. I know this was the first time he was on. He's going to be on more. Make sure you guys go into the description below or put in Pop Culture Living Room and subscribe to him as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to Second Brother coming soon. Right, Second Brother? Good having you in here, baby.
Yes, sir.
Coming soon, Jay. You're gonna hook him up. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely. I'll be going to his house this week to help him up. So
it's
documented. It's documented.
It's documented. There you go. No excuses. And Lane, the Midnight Collector. Sounds like you got your name, so you got to like come up with like a logo and get your channel, baby.
Yep. Maybe eventually someday over the rainbow. But we did get over 100.
100 likes, and now you're buying a Dark Side Anakin to give away.
That's going up there with as Ryan continually sometimes will remind me that I still apparently am supposed to like own some swoop bikes to people. Unfortunately, that
like
was
5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, that was always a mass like dementia or hypnosis. That happened when convincing.
YouTube doesn't lie when you make those accusations.
And you know what though, the good thing is that Single Songwriter I don't believe is actually here tonight, so he can't actually win this.
No, Single Songwriter's in the chat, baby. He's here.
Oh, Single Songwriter, you're banned from winning this because you've already done it like 3 times. But anyway, let us knock out this giveaway.
Well, Lane, you're the man. Should we do like a who or something? I don't know.
It's going through right now. Let's see who it goes through to.
And the winner is, it can't be you, Lane.
Christian Detour Collections is our winner tonight.
Christian Detour Collections. That is awesome. Welcome in here. Thank you, Lane. And that's great. Congrats. What should I play? Well, we got another member, so let's play this on table 2.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another. You gotta love 6 scale raw. Lane, thank you so much. And congratulations to Christian Detour collectors out there. Single Songwriter. See, he's here. And saying congratulations. And to everybody in here. What a great show. It's going to be a great week. I don't always buy coffee out, but when I do, I buy it from 6 Scale Cantina. I spill it at 6 Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.
All right, but this is the last time.
Thank you.